Greetings, comrade Dust Bootcampers. After that rousing introduction of Silverman Sound's Soviet March, I just feel ready to throw away my capitalist allies and embrace the SSU. To that end, I'm going to make Greg talk about it for, a whole bunch more time. We'll be covering Red Guard, Spetznaz, PLA, all that good stuff. This is Dust Bootcamp. I am one of your hosts, Nick. Greg and Alicia from Dust USA are also here. Not here. This is being recorded after that. But, hey, go ahead, give it a listen, leave a comment, give us likes, give us love, and see you on the other side.
So the Red Guard is the Steel Guard. Yes, you have something else next to it. You have like 2 or 3 units of Armor 2 guys that are armed to the teeth with anti-tank stuff. They have, for example, with the Commissars, they are the only units that have actually the grenade launcher under their main weapon.
Okay. Wow.
So it's an under-barrel grenade launcher, so it's limited ammo weapon, but it's like a pocket Panzerfaust. It's really nice, really convenient. Right. So Red Guards by themselves are really, I would say, they are elite Red Army troops that you can use with your Red Guard when you have a few points left and you don't have enough points to grab a very big Steel Guard unit. But the meat and potato of the faction is definitely the Steel Guards. I will brush also really quickly on the Babushka, Matryoshka, the KV-152, or the Red Cossack, which are all heavy walkers with an armor of 5. Most of the time one-shot weapons that are really, really powerful with a very nice range. A lot of HPs. They are going to have 7 HPs each. Again, really nice. The Red Cossack is actually the private vehicle of Nikolai, which is one of the best pilots in the game. Because he's not only pilot, he's also an officer. And he has an ability that is take aim, which means that when he does a sustained attack, he will also roll better because he will hit on a faction logo and a target. So Nikolai, as I was telling you a little earlier, fits well in his own vehicles, but he will fit really well in one of your tanks if you want to take tanks with your Red Guard, or if you just don't care about the faction bonus, which is sometimes worth it. And you will just put Nikolai in a tank and just go to town with it.
Yes.
And again, if your tank doesn't have any firing solution, Nikolai is still an officer, so he just can go, get moving a bunch of monkeys or reload a weapon with a limited ammo weapon. So it's really, really, really nice. So
that is definitely a very powerful thing to have, and it's understandable why he has it when you look at a lot of the rest, because you have the Steel Guard, and the Steel Guard are crazy.
Steel Guards are really, again, that's the other aspect of the SSU, slow and sturdy. So Armor 4, the only Armor 4 squads in the game, really, really, really resilient. The Steel Guard ability means that they are immune to the safe suppression that artillery is supposed to cause. That means that they don't take advantage of cover, but they save on faction logo and shield. They have damage resilient all the time. Some of them have a save in melee because they have assault shield. They are really, really resilient. They can be really frustrating if you don't apply the necessary amount of force to kill them at once. Because even though they only have 1 HP each, they are really sturdy.
Yeah. So it's funny. I played against somebody who ran basically a full Steel Guard. I'm not even sure if they played anything else.
Yeah.
I was playing Heavy Rangers, and we were duking it out, but there was this one unit that or not even unit. There was one left out of the unit that just tied all of my guys up. All of them. And because we just sat there and shot it and shot it and shot it. And it would not die, but it was sitting somewhere where we couldn't go around it because it would expose any one of those people that tried to go around it. Which invariably left them to, start moving forward and bring more in, which, turned very sour for the heavy rangers.
Yes.
Stupid Steel Guard.
Yeah, frontal assault is complicated against them. You have to really pick your target and do it properly. Advantage is that, so for the units that don't have the assault shield, if you go melee against them, they only have the damage resilience. So that really cuts their sturdiness by more than half, and that's really convenient.
Yeah, damage resilience is such a terrible thing to only have. Let's see, a group of guys who only get 2 punches against a bunch of things that have damage resilience. Who wins that close combat battle? I wonder. Oh no, I have plenty of experience with that one.
We should have named this podcast Damage Resilience. But the Steel Guards they have a little bit of everything, and my opinion is that it's really fun to play a full Steel Guard army because obviously on the table it has, the miniatures are magnificent and really they are really, really, really nice all the time. But my opinion is that the Steel Guards should be treated like vehicles. And it's something that you take to complement your army in general when you need to apply a certain amount of force on a very specific aspect of the battle. I've seen some interesting strategies. So, of course, when you talk Steel Guard now, since last year, you cannot talk about them without talking about their leader, Guaylo. Guaylo Molloy is just... people are complaining about the Winter Child. That's because they don't know Guaylo properly. Guaylo Molloy is really fantastic, and he has everything you need and a little bit more. He's resilient. He has 4 HPs. He's not that expensive. Of course, he's the price of a whole unit by himself, but he's a one-man army. You will have a flamethrower. You will have 4 RPGs. You will have an autogun. So you can deal with infantry, you can deal with vehicles, you can deal with aircraft, you can deal with anything. And he has one of the best abilities in the game that is move and fire. Move and fire says that after a march move, you can still attack, or after a normal move, you can sustain your attacks. It's basically 3 actions. And he gives that to the unit that he joins. And that opens so many possibilities for the Steel Guards that you can put Guaylo with absolutely any Steel Guard unit in the game and make it shine. And that is really, really nice.
Definitely. So, on the opposite side of the spectrum, I was playing somebody else who had Guaylo, and I knew a little bit of, all the stuff that, Guaylo could do. And I was kind of worried about it. We were playing not a high point game, and they brought a Steel Guard unit, I forget what, and Guaylo, and they popped them up on a side where I had a lot of infantry.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden, my unit shot Guaylo and got like 4 hits.
Nice.
Right? Nice. Okay. So go to roll the save. Misses all of them.
Very nice.
Goes to roll damage resilience. Rolls all shields. I was like, the odds were so against it that we just looked at each other and we were like, ah.
Yeah.
I'm
Again,
like, I'm like, take him away. I
It's
feel bad, but not enough to let you actually keep it. Take it away.
Yeah, it's a dice game, and you will have this kind of incident from time to time. So
yes, the totally defies the odds, and not in a way that usually makes the person who owns that model happy.
So Guaylo, the best known shenanigans with him is to put him with the Steel Guard Sniper Squad. Because with move and fire, they are going to be able to move and sustain their attacks anyway. And because they are snipers with power scope, that means that they're going to hit all the time on faction logo and target.
Oh, goodness.
Even when they move. So it's really convenient on the first rounds of the game because they still have a big range. They have a range of 10. So you just want to place them properly and then be able to shoot whatever on the table. And Guaylo will grant you this possibility just by joining the unit. Plus, again, adding the number of HPs that you need and protecting them against anything that would like to assault them a little faster because he still has some flamers and stuff like that. So that's a good shenanigan. The second one is obviously with the super expensive Steel Guard anti-infantry squad. And as Paolo would say, we call them anti-infantry, but they are anti-everything.
Yes.
They hit hard everything. And that is really, really an excellent unit. Again, really expensive. But with Guaylo, their relative lack of range is going to be compensated by the fact that they're going to move faster on the battlefield. And they're going to be able to wreck absolutely everything on the table. Not forgetting that the RPGs are also flamers, flame weapons, thanks to the ability Flame Burst, which means that every time they hit, they will actually suppress the target. And you use the blast template to hit.
Yes. I have nightmares of that weapon because,
yes.
I didn't quite realize that when I got hit.
Yeah.
And then I cried a little bit.
It is definitely a unit that you want to take care of with snipers. This unit justifies having snipers in your army all the time. Because you really want to take care of them as fast as possible, because if they move up the battlefield, you're going to be in trouble. So, a recent combination that I actually faced on the tournament locally, the guy came with a very nice Steel Guard army with actually a full Tesla army, and he put Guaylo in a Steel Guard Tesla squad, and oh my god, is it fantastic! Moving the Tesla cannons that fast really changed everything, because it's a weapon range 6, but then again you're going to move faster, so suddenly you can cover the whole table. You can stun 2 targets per round. That is really, really amazing. So it's really a very good unit to join with Guaylo also. It's really something that I enjoyed being wrecked by. And when I say wrecked, I had a medium walker platoon for the Allies with 7 walkers, and I lost 82 points of army in 3 rounds. Just with this unit.
That is crazy.
That was really fantastic. Honestly, it brought me. It was an epiphany, and I really understood a lot of things with the Tesla squad and the Steel Guards with this game. But really, putting Guaylo with them was really fun. And of course, they have. This is a unit that has actually the assault shield, so going in melee with them was not even a solution.
Yes, that stupid assault shield.
Assault shield and damage resilience, so it's really nice. So yeah, Steel Guards, and Steel Guards. Really, they are.
And all I ask for is just a little bit of damage resilience.
Your damage resilience is putting more miniatures on the table.
Not many.
No, but still, and so yeah, the Steel Guards are really a fan favorite right now. They are really popular, and when you go to events like Dust Days or this kind of things, people like them because you can play a really strong theme of an army while still being efficient and having some gameplay options. Obviously, the downside of it is that you're going to be slow and sturdy. The speed is 2, running is going to be 3. So really, you cannot expect anything completely crazy when it comes to placing yourself. But you have all the options that you need. Even a common squad that is pretty nifty. So
yeah, no, you definitely have plenty of options when you're playing Steel Guard.
Yeah, and of course you have 2 platoons for the Red Guards. The first one is a SSU Red Guard platoon, which is really funny because it allows you to put back soldiers that have been killed in your units. So it's really funny. And then you have the Steel Guard platoon with the implacable advance. That means that when they are suppressed, instead of doing nothing for their first action, they can move forward.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a nice army with some nice possibilities. Again, it's a little bit of a one-trick pony, so it's something that a lot of beginner players will enjoy because that allows you to. It's really forgiving, and it's really an army that has solutions just by switching a few units. But because they are also really expensive, you won't be able to play all the units at once, and you will have to make choices. May it be because you want to play the anti-tank or the anti-infantry squad, or because you have to choose between the assault or the fire support squad. These squads have roles that are really close to one another, but at the same time, they also have differences that really will make you think about what you want to do with your army. So that's pretty much all for the Red Guard by itself.
Right. I mean, they are their own army. So,
yes.
I guess now we can move into the shenanigans that is the Spetznaz.
The Spetznaz. The Spetznaz is my favorite faction in the SSU. It's also one of the latest. But the Spetznaz have really gameplay options that are really fun. You have fragile troops. They're going to be armor 1 or 2. With a lot of weapons all the time, a lot of flamers, a lot of RPGs, a lot of medium range, actually anti-infantry weapons. Their automatic rifles are actually no joke. Some of the best heroes, I would say, in the galaxy, because maybe Rosa, Rediana, Vasily, Iron Joe, or the Butcher, they all grant something to their army that is really, really exclusive and really useful and at the same time fun to play. So it's an army that is really well balanced.
Fun to play, not to play against. We'll make sure that distinction's made. Rosa, I'm talking about you especially.
Rosa is the best sniper in the game. Not because of the damage dealing, but because she has one of the most useful abilities in the game, which is End Stay Down.
Yes.
And Stay Down puts suppression token immediately on any unit that is hit by her.
Yes, it doesn't even actually have to wound.
No, you just hit.
Just hit.
And because she's expert with the sniper rifle, she has 2 chances out of 3 to hit you. And that is without the sustained attack. So really, I really love Rosa.
And camouflage.
So with Rosa, it's going to be a little particular. Again, you're going to enjoy the expert because you lose camouflage every time you shoot. Okay, every time you attack. So what you want to do with this kind of ability is that you want to attack first, and then go back to camo. Rosa having a sniper that is range 8, she can shoot pretty much anything on the table once you placed her. So first round, you're going to enter the table, place her where you want her, camo, so that she doesn't get shot by mistake, And then You're going to start suppressing units every round. You're going to suppress one unit just by shooting and then putting back your camo.
Yep.
And that is really convenient. You can even start some, if you're a little bit lucky with your dice, or if you have Iron Joe in a command squad, for example, which makes your dice rolls incredibly reliable, or Iron Joe in a command squad in a command vehicle, so that really your dice rolls are insanely reliable. And then you can just get moving your bunch of monkeys on Rosa, and you can suppress 2 units per round. And this is something that I like to do, to be honest, because suppression is really a mechanism that I really like and that I rely on heavily. But it's really convenient for a hero with 7 points to be able to just shoot at something and say, oh, by the way, no.
Yeah. Trust me, I have my issues with. She comes in the starter box. She shoots a lot of stuff.
Yes. The starter set for the Spetznaz is a little particular, but it's a lot of fun. So
once again, a lot of fun to play, not play against.
So then you have sticking with the heroes. Red Diana is your infantry ace hero that you want to put in a unit just because it gives infantry ace to the unit. So one extra action if you're a little lucky on your dice. That's always convenient. She has a grenade launcher, which is also not bad. She's lucky, so that means that one time per game you can reroll your attacks. That is pretty nice. Again, only on the hero, it doesn't transmit to the unit. But having a grenade launcher that can reroll is nice. So really, Red Diana is the. I have 7 points left. I want to keep the faction bonus. Let's put Red Diana because I cannot lose anything with her, so it's pretty cool. Ivan the Butcher is the complete opposite. It's really funny with Ivan because everyone thinks that he's a melee monster, but actually he's not. He's good. He's definitely good because he's expert with the mid cleavers. Mm-hmm. And he has 2 attacks on infantry level 1 or 2, but that's not. It's a paired mid cleaver, so he doesn't multiply the attacks. He's good with that, but you really want to take advantage of his machine gun.
Yes,
because he's a guy who carries a machine gun by himself, and that makes him really good. So charge is something that you're going to do when you're really sure that you can kill something. But it's not necessarily something that you want to abuse all the time. He's really a hero that you can comfortably put in a forest and shoot at stuff. And then when you see that you're in range, charge something and kill them and take advantage of Berserk if you're lucky on your dice.
Right. And that's the important part is that, even with Berserk, he's only, it's only when you're lucky on your dice, which you can get awful lucky, as anyone who's ever used a laser will tell you. But, that is definitely not something that you would solely want to rely on.
To take advantage of his melee abilities, actually, the interesting thing is to put him in another unit. You have a unit that is really specialized in melee, that is the Spetznaz Saboteur Squad. They have automatic rifles, but really it's for just because sometimes you want to shoot at stuff. But they also have demo charges, and they are really good in melee. They are really cheap, like really, really dirt cheap for the Spetznaz. And putting them with Ivan allows them to go wherever you need them to be. And that is really cool because you can run straight forward with them, take advantage of charge, and put yourself in a position to destroy a heavy tank or some very important squad at once. And that is something that is really something that you want to think about. It's really convenient.
Right.
Another hero. So Iron Joe is officer and general. So Iron Joe is really your ultimate command squad. where you're gonna, as I said, you put your hero in the command squad so that with general, he will roll an extra die when he does an officer special action. And if you put him in a PD-47 command vehicle, then he will re-roll these dice. So you sacrifice your 2 actions. You roll, instead of rolling 2 dice, you're going to roll 3. And then, because you're in a PD-47, you're going to re-roll these 3 dice. And you just have to have 1 faction logo to reactivate a unit of your choice.
Yeah, that is insanity.
Yeah, it is a costly combo. I mean, it's not free, okay? The is 11, Iron Jaw is 8, the PT-47 is 9. So it's something that costs you. But, again, for less than 25 points, you have the ability to generate extra activations on a unit that is really a key unit of your strategy for nothing. So that's pretty cool.
It definitely is.
Finally, the final hero is Vasily, the Red Banner. So, funny enough, he's a Spetznaz, so they are the guys that are supposed to be super discreet, and covert ops and things. And he carries this massive banner, red, with golden fringes, just to show that you can be discreet and at the same time completely tacky. So,
no, he's the guy from when we were soldiers.
Yes.
Who's standing up and screaming at all the other guys, get up!
That's exactly that.
Never getting shot.
And anyone who's been in the military and been around the the guys who are supposed to be the best of the best, the elite, there's always that one guy. There's always that one guy where you're like, how have you not gotten everyone else killed? And, usually they all stick together and they go, we really don't know. We don't. But for some reason, he hasn't, and he's still lucky.
So Red Banner has 2 abilities that are really representative of that. A Red Banner, which means that within range 2, all friendly infantry units in line of sight roll 3 dice when they rally. So convenient. It gives brave basically around him. And Follow Me. And Follow Me is once per turn. You take a special action, and all friendly infantry units within armor 1 or 2, within range 2, and in line of sight, roll a die. On a faction logo, they take an immediate move action with a move rating of 2. So it's an extra move for free. On the paper, it seems really complicated and not that great. But it creates some situations that are really, really fun to play. And because Vasily has nothing else to do than run, because, okay, you can shoot with him, but really, it doesn't really matter. That's worth trying to do a follow me action from time to time, especially if you play a lot of infantry and you want to move them really forward on the battlefield really fast. It becomes completely insanely crazy when you play his platoon with him. His platoon is basically saying, let me find it so that I really have the complete text. In Spetznaz unit or Tropical Light Walker, so the TSH, okay, in or supporting the Spetznaz Task Force platoon, gain at the double skill for its first activation. All the activations it derives from reserves. So, at the double means that you, after a march move, you can move again.
Yeah.
So, let's sum it up. You march move, you move, then Vasily goes, follow me, and you move again.
Oh, man. That's a lot of moving.
So you're going to march move 5, okay, because that's the regular speed for most of them. Some of them are 4 because they are also armor 2, but armor 1, you're 5. So you're going to march move 5, move again thanks to the add the double but for 2, that makes 7. Then you're going to, if you're successful on your dice, you're going to move 2 again with the follow me. So you're at 9. So you're basically 3 boxes away from the enemy line. And that was just the first term. So obviously, running straight forward just to impale your troops on the enemy is not the thing that you want to do. But that means that you can take an objective really fast. That means that you can place your troops wherever you want on the table without really being scared of not being in range. Sometimes you're a little too short to get in that forest that you would like to get into, or those kind of things. So it really creates some nice options like that.
And maybe you do want to charge them all forward into the loving embrace of your enemies because you're Spetznaz and you'll murder them all.
There's that. There's also the fact that you can also want to move forward super fast with one unit, not necessarily all of them, but you want this very specific unit to move forward very fast, like a kill squad, because they have aimer, and then you're going to reactivate them with Iron Jaw. Funny detail, Vasily is also an officer, so you could also try to do it with Vasily.
Right.
So Spetznaz have 2 officers in their list, and that means that you can really do some shenanigans with reactivations or reloading because you have some limited ammo weapons. So again, a lot of possibilities. You can reload your RPGs or your demo charges. It can be really fun, really fast. The walkers by themselves, as I told you, they lose 1 point of armor. They lose air mobile. Actually, not all of them, now that I read it.
I was going to say, the first one that I opened...
Actually, I'm completely mistaken. Sorry. So they don't lose air mobile. They just lose 1 point of armor. And they are exactly like the other ones. So really a large array of weapons, a repair walker, some short-range missiles, some long-range Tesla. You have everything you need. So there's really nothing bad in your choices of a TSH chassis. You can really take whatever you want. Alicia has a preference for this one. So the Nina that you call
Lucky Cricket.
Exactly. So really the walkers are nothing to write home about, but nothing to be ashamed of. They will give you some very efficient solutions all the time. And then tell me.
Oh, I was just saying, and they're also, they're cheap. So
yes, exactly. They are also a little cheaper, so that's really convenient. They're not slow at all, and they have damage resilient, which is something that you love. So
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at them and comparing them to the Allies light walkers, and once again, I know where all the love went.
Well, to compare them properly, you should compare them with the medium walkers. So the USMC light. But they're still medium walkers. But yeah, and they are a little sturdier. But we will have one day a debate about the medium walkers. And I think that the Allies have probably the most interesting ones in the game right now. So,
no doubt. I mean, I love the Allies walkers. I just I'm always interested at the other walkers.
Mm-hmm. Then my favorite vehicle for the Spetznaz is not a vehicle; it's an aircraft, and it's the Invader.
Yes.
So the Invader is. How can I say that? It does everything, and it does it well. It has a lot of weapons to shoot with. It can carry 6 passengers. It is an assault vehicle, which means that you can move the chopper and then disembark your passengers. So it's really, really something that is really good. And strangely enough, the Invader is good with everyone. It's going to be good, obviously, with the Spetznaz, for example, because you want to load the aforementioned saboteur squad and drop them exactly where you want on top of a tank to destroy it. You will do that properly. You want to put an anti-tank unit in it and shoot from the windows. It will do that properly. So you want to put a common squad in it to have them a little safer because again it's an aircraft level 2, so it's not something that you're gonna one shot easily. You can do that also, and then you have the crazy stuff where you can put, for example, an anti-infantry squad, but steel guard, and then you're gonna have steel guard infantry squads shooting from the sides of the chopper. Or you can unload them if you really want at the end because you're close enough to your objective, and you can load your Easter eggs, your very aggressive Easter eggs of steel guards right on top of an objective because the invader just delivered them where they needed to be. And all that, you will do it while packing rocket pods, a Gatling gun, and machine guns, heavy machine guns. So you can really...
Oh, I was going to say, and the rocket pods can volley.
Of course, yeah. You have 2 of them, so it's not a game changer, but it's really something that can help if you want to destroy that pesky medium walker that really is annoying. Don't hesitate to do it with that. So, yeah, the invader is really a great choice. Again, it's a sacrifice of 25 points, so it's really a choice that you make knowing that your strategy will revolve around him. And it's really important to note that. But it's really, really a great chopper. And it's really something that the more I think about SSU when I build lists, the more I think that really it's something that it's not an auto-include again because nothing is that in the game, but it's really a choice that you can make, being confident that you will be able to make it profitable. And that's important, even for 25 points.
It is a great vehicle.
Yeah, 8 HPs also makes it really sturdy. So
yeah, when you mentioned that it was a vehicle or aircraft too. So it was hard to one shot. I looked at that and I went, well, there's the other component to making it hard to one shot.
Yes.
And that is being able to do 8 points of damage in one shot.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something that you can make your strategy really around this vehicle, around this aircraft, and having a winning strategy with it. So.
Oh, man. All right. So, Spetznaz.
So now the last faction right now of the SSU, the latest release that we had for the SSU, the PLA. Woohoo!
Yes, I have these guys. They are definitely fun.
Yes, they are. So the PLA was really for Olivier when he created them. It was really a way for him to introduce a new gameplay, not only for the SSU but also for the game by itself. And again, it is, in my opinion, the PLA Assault Squad and the way the heroes are managed in this particular faction is really brilliant and really shows how game design can really be thought about differently. Typically, the PLA is meant to show you what an infinite tide of bodies can do to you just by throwing themselves at you. It's really China as you would imagine it. We are 2 billion people just eager to break your face. So we're going to show you how it does. And it's really that. So because we are limited by the game design to having squads of a certain amount of people, because we cannot make a squad of 15 people, marketing-wise, it would be completely stupid and it wouldn't fit on a square. The Chinese army really shows you how game design can describe this tide, this infinite tide of bodies. So you have the PLA Assault Squad, for example, that is really dirt cheap 5 points for 5 guys. It's really, really, really inexpensive. And they roll 1,000,000 dice.
They do. Oh my God, do they roll 1,000,000 dice?
We're talking about 35 dice against infantry level 1. They will not do anything on a vehicle, except, again, the really anecdotic, but still useful improvised melee weapon. But in range, they are the best anti-infantry short range that you will find. Short range, because, again, this is really the strategy of the army of running in your face and then unloading until they have no ammo left. And it's really that. So you have these 5 guys rolling 35 dice, meaning that you will lose any infantry unit in the game if they really concentrate fire on you.
Yes, I know. Even infantry 3.
Yes, even an infantry 4, if you're a little unlucky on the dice, you will lose your 3 guys. And that is really, really scary. So it's really
now
not infantry 4. Sorry,
I was going to say infantry 4. They can't shoot.
They cannot shoot at it, but
they can club you to death. And
yes.
from personal experience on both sides of it, they are actually extremely good at clubbing you. They, I'm guessing it's the grenades in their hand that they don't get. They use those to wrap on things.
It's exactly that. It's not
they haven't figured out
mace.
They haven't figured out pull the pin yet. They just
it's less efficient. Also, you throw them, but why?
Why? I can hit this guy in the head and he dies. I like this.
So yeah, the assault squad is really nice. Right now we have 3 vehicles for the PLA inside the faction. So the Nina, that we already mentioned, the infamous Lucky Cricket.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have the Type 47, which is something that I didn't mention in the block, but it's a heavy walker on the same chassis that the Matryoshka and Babushka and this kind of things, but with a dual Tesla cannon. And that is really, really good. It's expensive, but it's kind of sturdy, even though it doesn't have damagers in it. And it shoots really well. It's 7 dice on anything across the board.
And I know that the lack of damage resilience is really just a typo.
Exactly. So it's a good choice, again, for an army that is meant to show you this tide of bodies that they throw at you and have very expensive support vehicles to show you that really they rely mainly on their infantry, and the vehicles are here to pinpoint and target really precisely some very specific units. So the third option is obviously the PD-47A, so the amphibious common vehicle. So this one is for the moment, for the PLA, you don't take advantage of the common vehicle. The advantage of it is that you can put some passengers in it and roll away. So right now with the PLA, not the best option ever, but it's still an option when you want to have a cheap vehicle to help you get some cover and this kind of things. So.
And it also brings in, some anti-aircraft elements because it's got that the twin heavy machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually, it is kind of a faster vehicle, so it's better than foot slogging it.
Exactly, yeah. And then the real change in gameplay is coming from the heroes. So I'm gonna talk about the Commissar first.
Okay.
Because Commissar Poon is the first Armor 1 Commissar. It's the first Commissar that is also a hero. And that creates a lot of changes in your gameplay. So that means that obviously it's going to be in the unit of the Assault Squad, because that's the only unit Armor 1 available right now for the PLA. But it also means that you will be able to come back with the unit from reserves, which is an exception to any hero. Mm-hmm. And because he's a Commissar, it means also that you won't be able to put another Commissar with him. He's expert demo charge. He has fighting spirit, which it transmits to the unit. So it's really, your unit suddenly becomes even more resilient thanks to the 4 HPs that it brings. But it's also, it becomes brave, basically. It will roll 3 dice to remove suppression. And because of fighting spirit, it will shoot better once per game.
Right.
So,
which can definitely change that tide of combat.
becoming expert on 35 dice, yes. That means that basically you're going to have 20 hits. And that is pretty bonkers. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yes, it is. Because those 35 hits just on their own are insane.
Yes.
Yeah. These guys are, as you said, bonkers. And then with him, you know what? I actually haven't faced anyone using him yet, but I've imagined.
Yeah.
I do have to point out that he's got a demo charge, so maybe he shows all the infantry guys how to use the grenades.
Yeah, by sticking them to a tank and letting them. And because he's a hero, his demo charge is also not a limited ammo weapon, and that is something to note. As for every heroes, he doesn't have limited ammo weapon, so it's pretty cool actually. But then the stars of the starter set, the dynamic duo of the PLA, the Batman and Robin of Mayhem, the Dragon and the Phoenix.
Wonder Twin Powers.
The Wonder Twin Powers. Which one turns?
Wouldn't it actually be the Batman and Batgirl?
No, it's really who turns into a bucket of water and who turns into a monkey. So Dragon and Phoenix were really the change of gameplay. This is the first time that we had a starter set with 2 heroes, but this is the first time that these 2 heroes can actually constitute a unit by themselves, having 2 heroes in the same unit, or join another unit together or separately.
Yes.
So you can have the Dragon, the Phoenix, the Dragon and the Phoenix, the Dragon and the Phoenix in a unit, or just one of the 2 in a unit. So the possibilities are really, really amazing here. They are a little bit more fragile. They only have 3 HPs each, but that means 6 in total. And that means that you can lose up to 4 HPs before having to make a choice on losing a miniature if they are together in the same unit. And most of the time, you will want to have them in the same unit because their siblings' ability means that they also become expert when they are joined in the same unit.
With all weapons.
Yeah, this ability doesn't transmit to the unit they join, but each other,
right.
They become expert. And that is really, really good. To that, you can add the fact that one of them has Black Ops, giving you a huge advantage on the initiative roll. And the other one is Infantry Ace and First Strike.
Yes.
So, again, if you put them in another unit, like the PLA Assault Squad, that means that you can move and sustain attack. Or you can march, move, and just attack.
Mm-hmm.
If you play them by themselves, that means that one of them is going to attack first, destroying a lot of things, because, again, expert on all weapons. And then the little sister is going to attack again, being assassin. That means that she will be able to pinpoint and target exactly what she wants in a unit that she's attacking.
Which is usually just whatever, her brother didn't already kill.
True. True. It's really a unit where there is very little downside to it. And it's really always nice to play either by itself or inside another unit. They always find a solution to shine. And that is really a unit that is really interesting.
The amazing part is that they're a threat even against walkers. Granted, only up to they can hurt an armor 4 walker, but the armor 2 and 3 is what they're the biggest threat against.
True, but let's remember also that they still have an improvised melee weapon against the heavy walkers. So by themselves, they will only do 1 or 2 damages because it's only 1 attack, but they still have the improvised melee weapon if they need to.
Right. So, which I guess, that does bring up a good question. Does expert apply to the improvised melee weapon as well?
It's a weapon.
I mean, that's what I was thinking, but because I could see that they just became that much more awesome.
It is really a good unit. These are heroes that are really, really fun to play.
And the funny part is that for as crazy as they are not a unit that pisses your opponent off. They're not. Even though they have all those things that when combined together are just a lot of shenanigans.
Yep.
You don't walk away going, I can't frickin' believe that you're like, no, that was awesome.
Yeah, the Kung Fu style really helps with that.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, but it's also the fact that they are really balanced in an obvious way because they have less HPs, even though they have more damage dealing. They are really about quality, but less about quantity. They don't have berserk, they don't have these kind of things. So they will obviously roll 6 dice for their attacks in melee, and they will also shoot at you before, but they don't have any spike in the game in a dice roll. So they are really reliable all the time, but that also means that your opponent knows exactly what to expect from them. So
yeah, I mean, and just the fact that it is, and it is something different. You have all the heroes that are all, I'm a hero, I might join a unit, but that's it. These two, being able to make their own unit, being able to make their own unit with another unit.
Yep.
And then, the Black Ops, the Assassin, Infantry Ace. First Strike was hilarious one fight because somebody came up with Frank von Stein and went to attack him, or they attacked Frank von Stein. I forget which way it went. And the person went to roll Franks, and the other person's like, wait, first strike.
Yeah.
With this one person. And they were kind of like, oh, that doesn't really matter. Well, they took off half of Frank, using expert and all that, managed to take off half of Frank's hit points.
Exactly.
Or more.
That matters.
That matters.
that matters a whole lot when you're like, and there's another one yet that still has to hit.
Yep. At the same time as Frank, yes.
Can I run away now?
Yeah, it is scary. Yeah. Frank von Stein is a very good melee specialist, but he has this weakness that he doesn't have first strike, and against some profiles, he will pay for it. So,
yeah,
and definitely the Dragon and the Phoenix are these kind of profiles that will really, really face any infantry with confidence. So one thing that since we're talking about previews, for the PLA, the next release in March is actually the Assaulter, the helicopter. It's a re-release, I should say. The Assaulter with the Chinese volunteers.
Right.
So these 2 units are going to have a PLA card. So that means that your PLA possibilities are going to be enhanced. But also the chopper is going to have another profile called the Air Controller.
There we go.
And the Air Controller is going to be PLA also, but not only. It's going to be Bloc also. And Air Controller is a helicopter that has Jammer as an ability.
Yeah, we actually were talking about that a little bit ago. I don't like that. We need to change that one. I'm not a fan.
No, you're gonna see it grows on you.
That's part of what I'm scared of.
Yeah, Jammer is really a very nice ability because basically it's really an ability that's going to disrupt your opponent's plans a lot because all successful enemy actions using a radio within a range of 6 will have to reroll and accept the new result.
Yes.
So any unit that is doing a get moving a bunch of monkey or a reload action through their officer, which we further than range 2, basically, will have to reroll. So that is really something that can throw a huge wrench in your opponent's plan. You have entire lists that are relying on the fact that they can be reactivated 1 or 2 times per round. It won't work that well. And it makes common vehicles and general abilities even more useful because you want to be able to roll a ton of dice to counter the fact that even when you're successful, you might not be anymore.
Right. And yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it and I'm dreading it at the same time.
It's really, I think it's going to be a fun gameplay evolution because obviously officers are really popular and they're going to have to think about now using their officers in a different way, placing them maybe in a more risky way so that they're always in range 2 of what they need to reactivate, or guaranteeing the rerolls by adding a little bit more points and putting them in a common vehicle. So it's really interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a nice choice.
Nice might not be the word I say facing it, but and then the infantry that come with it, they're going to be armor 2, aren't they?
Yes, they are armor 2.
Yes.
So same weapons as the PLA Assault Squad and armor 2. So gameplay is a similar gameplay. A few differences, obviously. They're going to take a tiny bit less shots when they get shot at, but it's really another possibility, and also that will allow you to introduce some commissars, some other commissars in your army, for example, for anti-tank solutions. Since it's something where the PLA is for the moment a little weak by itself.
Right. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how the PLA expands, especially in the horde mentality of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing some more Infantry 1 coming out for them.
Yeah, we also have some surprises about it. We have some heroes that are going to come that are really different also. So it's going to be an interesting faction to play with.
It sounds like the whole goal of it is to make it that extremely interesting faction. I want to try this. Let's throw it in the PLA.
Pretty much, yeah. We didn't want to have just a level 1, red army. It was not the point. The point was really to have something that plays differently, that gives different sensations when you play it. So that's the PLA for you.
And it definitely, I'm looking forward to that. I've already started to collect them, though I haven't picked up Commissar Poon. Actually, I haven't picked up anything but the core box right now.
Uh-huh.
Partly because I didn't want to pick up all the vehicles and not have more infantry yet.
Of course, yeah. March is going to be a good month for you.
It's going to be a bad month for me. there's a lot of stuff coming out in March.
Indeed.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it.
But you're going to have some snipers for the USMC now.
Yes, I'm going to have snipers for the USMC and the observers.
Mythos.
Mythos is coming out and going to be at Adepticon, so that means I'm going to be there for 4 days staring at it.
Fantastic. Do that. Remember that your local gaming store is going to have it at the same time. So
Yes, local gaming store, but I'll be in Chicago, so
no.
my local gaming store at that moment in time will be the Dust booth.
I don't blame you for that.
Yes. All right, so as we drool over what's coming out in March, that is the SSU.
Yeah.
They are damage resilient. I took that note away from all of this.
Yes.
I think I was supposed to. Damage resilient. And an army of extremes that likes to zap you.
Yes. It's exactly that. It's an army of extremes that likes to zap you. It's the best sum up of the faction that you can do.
Or expose you to large amounts of radiation. In a not overpowered sense at all. All right. Well, I think once again we have totally managed to not make our goal of sticking to roughly an hour.
Oh no, definitely not.
Which expanded from the 30 to 45 minutes. But that's not a problem. No, it's been good. Any last minute things that you want to add in?
Oh, on my side, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So that will be this episode of Dust Bootcamp. I want to thank you all for listening. If you want, give this a like on any of the social media that you see it on. Leave a review on the iTunes page or give it a like on the podcast page, wherever you're listening to it. Give it a like, leave it a review, anything like that, because all those little things matter. Yeah. And you have a good and dusty day, folks.